Quick notice of this meeting has been provided by the special meeting notice, which was published as a legal advertisement in the Herald News on August 24th, 2025. Further notice of this meeting was given prior to the meeting by posting said notice on the bulletin board at City Hall and on the City of Clifton website, which notice stated that formal action may or may not be taken on the matters to come before the municipal council. Roll call, please.
Councilman D'Amato.
Here.
Councilman Gibson. Councilman Kalojay, absent. Councilman Latona.
Here.
Councilwoman Pino, absent. Councilwoman Sadrikula.
Here.
Mayor Grabowski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Please rise for the flag salute, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor? Mayor?
Yes, Bill.
Before we start tonight, I just want to ask our colleagues, let's stay focused tonight, let's stay businesslike, and we can move this thing along, and let's have a good meeting.
I agree, Bill.
Amen.
Okay, so we're going to open up the floor to the members of the public. Does anyone wish to be heard?
Seeing no one, I make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
No objections. Number 4 is an action item, which is A1, authorization to approve a procession.
Move it.
Second.
No objections. Okay, we have 2 council mails. One, we have a memo from our CFO amending 2025 introduced municipal budget. And then, any comments on that? Okay. Yes,
Joe Kuntz,
yes.
where is the whole new budget numbers? Our auditor just said the budget was reduced by $1.5 million. So I want to see all the numbers,
That's in the presentation that we have, so.
Yeah, but
so we
it's
have
not a
hard
breakdown.
copy.
I looked at the presentation. I'm looking at the budget numbers, so I can see line by line.
That does not exist, because I was told tonight you're going over the changes.
It doesn't exist? If you took 1.5 million out of the if you took 1.5 out of the budget, where you're telling me line by line numbers don't exist?
That would be correct. It's a-
Wait, no,
it's a
don't
matter
look
to
at
work
him.
on.
You're the CFO. Did you take 1.5 million out of the budget? And if so, what line items did you take out?
I have an introduced budget that the city council had a
So
public hearing on.
so the introduced
When I came
budget,
home from vacation, I was told to come to this special meeting because you're going to discuss what you're going to change from the amended budget, of
Okay.
which the city manager and the auditor has stuff to discuss as possible cuts, which are the same possible cuts we've had in the past,
okay, so,
or increases. So it's really up to the mayor and council now at this point to say, this is what we want to do or not do.
before the meeting started, our auditor said that 1.5 million was taken out of the budget. So can you tell me where that money was taken out?
Which is what the city manager has as for
So it
its discussion.
hasn't been taken out yet. Taken out is past tense.
No, nothing's been taken out of the
Okay.
adopted, introduced
That's what I
budget.
needed to know. Thank you.
Mayor, to you, the city manager, just to clear, the money's taken out from the list of these cuts of this report we got last council meeting, I assume?
The reduction of the tax levy is
Right.
on the initial slide that we put together and was memorialized in those items. Additional revenues, appropriation reductions, streets and roads. So we went from $95 million down to $93 million.
Go ahead.
The introduced budget had a 94 cents, and with the reductions, we're down to 66 cents.
Right, so I'm just asking to let the public know, that reduction is coming from this roughly $2 million on August 19th report you gave us, correct? We're using about 1.5 million from those 5% reduction from expenses, anticipated revenues, right? Combination of that. Okay. So
We
Public
don't,
knows that's how it's happening, just so.
Correct. I mean, I kind of memorialized it in the one slide between the two gentlemen there. We tried to simplify it,
That's-
to
I was
come
trying
up
to simplify
with
it.
some bullet numbers, and I just don't want to give the wrong information as you're asking the same question in a couple of different ways, but those were the numbers. That's what was introduced, which we were calling 10 cents, which was 94 cents, and tonight, with all the reductions and the revisions, we brought it down to 66 cents, and that's about a 4% increase from 2024.
Mr. Muscle, can I just ask a question?
Absolutely.
Right, so through you, Mayor, to Mary, what you're asking for is line item by line item, where they made the cuts.
correct, correct. If you're telling me you took 5% cuts, where did you take it from?
And you want to know that line item by line item.
Absolutely do. As you know, Bill, I'm a numbers person. I don't like voting on stuff I don't know have
I'm trying to
numbers.
wrap my head around what you're asking for, and you're asking for 14 pages worth of where they were cut. So if is that the problem, it's going to take a while for them to...
No, they don't have
do
it. What they're telling me is they should know where they took the 5% cuts out. So they should be able to quantify that.
Just,
All right, well, I just wanted to make it clear.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We always get the numbers. Every single year, we get the numbers. I'm a numbers person. I want to see exactly where the cuts were. Hopefully, they'll be able to memorialize that tonight for us to see where that was, and that's why I asked.
I don't think that's probably going to happen, but I understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, I think Mr. DeMarzo, what he did was he said, like, memorialized the whole thing and simplified it for us. So that's where we're at as of now.
Yeah,
So
I understand.
let's
again,
move on.
before we go on to my colleagues, we got this report on August 19th from the administration and CFO or auditor, whoever, that shows $2 million in cuts, a line item. So for Bill, I can share this for you, or Mary, I assume those are by the breakdown of what they gave us. So I assume 1.5 is coming from that list of 2 million that they gave us.
I understand that.
Okay, well, then what I'm looking at here is dated August 19th, proposed amendment. Reduce appropriation reserve for taxes, 100,000. Reduce appropriation sewer deficit, 215,727. Anticipated revenue reserve for sale of assets, 99,457. Anticipated revenue reserve for debt service, 181,758. Anticipated revenue, capital fund balance, 103,455. Anticipated revenue, am I interrupting something? Anticipated revenue reserved for purchase of property, 74,605. This is reduced appropriations, 5% cut department other expenses, $307,065. Reduce appropriations, streets and roads, salaries and wages, snow removal. This is taken from the storm recovery reserve, 200 grand. Other expenses, salt, storm recovery reserve, another 150,000. And this is the most troubling to me. Reduce appropriation, capital improvement fund, $500,000. That means we don't bond for anything this year.
I'm looking at the sheet. We did not reduce the capital account. So we didn't take out the 500,000. We took out 350,000 of that. Do you want to handle that, Rob?
Well, there's the sheet I'm looking that Tony just handed me says 500.
Well, I'm going to put up the
Okay, you can
PowerPoint
put it up.
presentation relative to what we're presenting this evening, and the 1.5, and again, it might be my mistake that we did not itemize the $459,000, which would be the reduction in the operating expenses. But what we're looking at are those 5 numbers. And then what we did is we did not completely empty the capital bond account so we can bond. We reduced it down to $350,000. There was already $100,000 left in that account. So we may not be able to do a $10 million bond, but we can probably do maybe a $3 to $4 million bond. But I'm going to have the media put up that slide so we can kind of look at what we're talking about, and we can all look at the same slide together. But Rob, do you want to just touch on the base on that?
Yeah, I just want to clarify the difference between what we just went through, which are all of the proposed cuts from the last meeting, versus what's on this slide tonight. The only 2 differences are, as Gary just said, the capital plan. Instead of on the original plan from 2 weeks ago, the entire capital down payment was taken out, $500,000. In tonight's slide, $350,000 is taken out. So $150,000 was left in the budget for down payment of capital ordinances. So instead of taking the whole 500 out, you're taking
That's
out
5%, right? We have to put 5% down?
Yes. Right.
So that
we
leaves
took
us
the
a
whole
few
five-
million dollars to do fall projects, correct?
Well, that would leave you, well, the fall projects, again, as we end of the year, it's usually when you do your fall projects because you can use your operating expense money. But the bigger capital projects that you may want to do, roads, the streets, the sidewalks, the parks, those are your capital projects, and we didn't want to not allow you to bond. So you may not be able to bond the $10 million that you usually bond, but we could still get you to about a $5 million bond. But again, the board has to identify what you want to spend that $5 million on, and you have not done that for me yet. So you're running into an end of the year where you might not be able to do any of the bonding because you're going to run out. But again, leaving you with that 5% balance in there gives you the opportunity to either carry it to next year and you can do a larger bond, or you can do a 5-year, because you're going to do another bond next year for roads and bridges and lights and whatever you're going to do. So that 350, which was 500, we reduced it, but we didn't empty it. It's going to give you the ability to open up a credit card, so to speak. But the conversation that you're having, Councilman, is that as you end your year, you were successful. There was no meteors there, the building didn't blow up. We didn't have these large expenditures, and now you're able to, November, do your budget transfers, focus on projects that are not capital projects, but are regular operating expense. Hope that provides an explanation.
Council Mel 2. That's the memo from CFO on the trust accounts.
I have a question on the trust accounts.
Question.
From the forensic audit, some of the trust accounts were not properly documented. And I believe part of was talked about was using some of the trust accounts. My understanding is if they're dedicated writers associated with the trust accounts, there's a whole process, and we just can't eliminate those trust accounts. So the 2 trust accounts that were discussed was the $500,000, and actually we've been told that that one was $1 million, the other one, which was the housing trust.
Yes, one was $1 million and the other one was $500,000.
And yet, in the forensic audit report, that trust account is identified by a different name, and it says it's $1.7 million in it. So is it $1 million or is it $1.7 million?
$1 million.
Well, what's the $1.7 million then?
I don't know. And those are part of the questions we had for the forensic auditor, and we have not gotten an answer back.
My
That's for a
understanding is you
conversation
never
another-
sent anything to the forensic auditor.
That's, the city manager and I sent an email the week before I went on vacation.
Can you
asked them a lot
forward
of
that
questions.
email that you sent?
Yes, and
please?
that was
Thank you.
part of the conversation that we were waiting to have with them
Yes.
before Joe or upon Joe's return.
Right.
But there was
So do we know if those 2 trust accounts were set up by dedicated writer? And maybe our auditor can help us here.
No, those, I'll answer that. Those are trust accounts, and then we had put up resolutions to cancel those, and the board had chose not to.
But my
But they are available for repurposing, but you would need to cancel those particular trust
But my
accounts.
understanding is a trust account has associated dedicated writer, and there's a website from the state that has the list of the dedicated writers. And if it does have a dedicated writer associated with the trust account, the way it should be, meaning the state knows we have it, there's a whole process to cancel those and use the money. That's my question. Which trust accounts have dedicated writers? Do we know the answer to that?
All our trust funds have dedication by writers.
All of them, okay. So we just can't cancel them, there's a whole process. So can our auditors tell us what that process is, please?
Generally, what you would do is the mayor and council would take action to cancel that dedication by rider, and any available money in there would be repurposed for.
Don't you have to inform the state?
You would have to inform the state that you're canceling that dedication, because the
Right,
state's
and
list.
don't they have to approve it?
Right, because when you initiate a dedication by rider, it has to be approved by the state. So once you want to cancel that money, you have to notify the state you're canceling that dedication by rider and it's no longer needed, and then that money would become available for.
And that's a
repurposing.
process,
Right.
of which we were never told.
Okay, so,
No, you were told it had to be canceled by resolution. We didn't get into because you don't want to cancel it. Why get into something that you don't want to do? That's why it stopped.
That's right, we're on a need-to-know basis, and the need never exists.
Well, again, it's a process, and the process starts with the resolution, and then once once we have that interim authority to start to move that trust fund through the process, that's how it kind of works through the system. But we had put that on for consideration, and it was not, it was deemed that they would like to hold that account, and that's
So
fine, that's okay. So what we did is we left that alone, and then we started to look at the other 5 items that brought you down to the 4%, which was the guidance of the board, leaving some room for capital projects, and it's a budget that I can live with, and I think that the municipality can operate with. We have 4 months left. We've been very, very cautious because Joe has been only transferring relative to the operating and the salary that we've needed through the emergency appropriations. So at this stage, I'm comfortable that the 66 cents can operate efficiently, and that we can continue next year with some different philosophies and directions and kind of move forward.
So in the spirit of compromise, like we talked about, to lower the budget and the fund balance, if we wanted tonight to consider and make a motion to vote to take the 500,000 one, not the other one, because I want to reserve that for sidewalk consideration with my colleagues, can we make that motion tonight to then use that to lower our fund balance so we're not using so much?
So I guess the question is, gentlemen, if they make a motion to cancel the $500,000 trust fund and start that process to make sure that the state approves it, what would that do to the overall budget, and can that amount be used to offset any fund balance use?
Once the state if you would take action tonight, it would have to be sent to the state for them to approve the cancellation and the use of that money.
Okay.
If they approve it
what's the
for you to
timeframe?
use it, then it would become available. But
So we wouldn't be able to have a budget until they approved it, correct?
yes, you would not be able to cancel it tonight and then use it.
No, I don't mean
tonight.
cancel,
Right.
but if we wanted to vote tonight and it passed, and a month from now it gets canceled, can that be dedicated to our fund balance to lower that amount so we're not using so much
Yes.
of it
Yes, so
to
if
help with the
state-
budget
right.
this year that we're in such a budget hole?
Yes, basically what would happen is the state approves that for cancellation, it wouldn't become part of this budget, but it would replenish 500,000 of the fund balance you're using in the budget, right? So you're using, say, roughly $10 million of fund balance in this budget. You would automatically be putting 500,000 back in to your fund balance
that-
in '25.
So that money would actually go to surplus. So we would start the year without knowing anything of $500,000 because that money cannot be used to offset this budget, which Tony thinks it can be. It can't.
I'm asking the question.
It's basically that money is canceled and go into surplus.
Right. It would basically, of the 10 million you're using in the budget, which would stay, you would be automatically putting 500 back in during 25, which would show up at the end of 2025, but it wouldn't affect this budget per se. It would affect 25 operations,
Okay.
but it wouldn't affect what's showing in
So
the
it
25
wouldn't
budget.
affect what proposed at 6.6 cents or anything. We couldn't do that.
Correct.
So there actually is no rush to do that, to be honest with you.
Correct.
could
It would
do
just-
that
If you wanted
at-
to have it in by the end of the year, you would just have to have it all done before
Well, yeah, but we
December
can have it,
31st.
we can cancel it. If it's going into the surplus, we can do it after year end.
Correct.
Right.
Right, and see where we land up the year, because let's face it, the way we replenish surplus is revenues historically have been understated, expenses have been overstated, and that's what creates a balance at the end of the year. And that's how surplus is, yes, thank you for shaking your head. I would appreciate a yes, so that the public they don't see a shaking of the head.
Yes, that's how surplus is
Right,
regenerated.
that's how
Collecting more
surplus is.
revenues than you budget and spending less.
On that note, I have one further question. Joe, last year, Gary, you weren't here. Last year, we heard, oh, this is a bare bones budget. We were concerned with breakage, specifically with the police and fire. We had open positions in both. We were told, no, this is the most breakage we can take out. The first budget transfer, November 1st, was taking $500,000 out of the police salary lines and moving it to other lines. So what breakage is coming out from police? I know we had several open positions. Have they been filled when they have been filled, and can't we take breakage from there?
I don't know what positions are filled and not filled.
On that, I did ask
That's all.
last night, it crossed my mind, I didn't get an answer back on how many open positions we are in police and fire. I actually asked twice today without a response.
Yeah, well, the fire department gave a response.
Okay, I didn't
We're
see
hiring
it.
2, and then the police department lost, let's just say, 4 in the academy out of the 15 that you hired. So you put a number on each one of those around 50 grand, right? So that's about $200,000. So, but again, those numbers we're using to make sure that I can get to December
got
and
you.
not have, and not, because anything that runs into a deficit, I immediately add to your 06 budget, right?
So you're
And
saying we have
so-
19 spots in the police department, TO?
Well, we had 50, you hired 15, you lost 4 in the academy. What your TO is and what your TO isn't, I'm not sure. I just know that we had some recruits that
Because
did not
you
make
weren't
it.
here last year, but we added 15 spots to our TO. So I want to know for the public, if part of this budget is that we added 15 additional officers that we upped the
Yes,
TO.
yeah, of course, we
did.
got to pay for
Sounds
it.
like you did that and then you lost 4.
Yes.
I got that, but I just wanted to make sure they're on top.
And remember that not only
Of
it's
an
not,
increase.
I'm sorry, Councilman, it's not only the personnel that you're adding. I have to uniform each one of those officers, and each one of those officers
benefits?
have benefits, right? So it's again, police officers are about for every dollar I pay in salary, they're about $1.25 to keep. So
Maybe more.
those are the facts of public service. And but again, when Joe and I and Mr. Haig and we look at these budgets, we got to make sure that there's enough substance in there to carry me to December. And again, any residual that's left over then gets recaptured as the councilwoman said, goes back into surplus. So you started at a 10. Joe and I and the auditors brought you down to an 8. With some more creative logic and some adaptive thinking, we brought you down to a 6.6. And I'm confident that I can get to December with this particular budget. It kind of fits all the profiles that you want. It was my mistake, and I can get you the breakdown of the $400,000 line item by line item, so you or the public can have an understanding of where that came from. But again, just taking just taking this particular light here. And so if we had cut the media budget by the 10% as requested, I would have had to find another $4,000 to $7,000 to put into his budget if you wanted that light. Right, so going into the end of the year, I think he's going to have to recapture from his department, I think it was like less than $2,000 overall relative to what goes back into surplus. I mean, so those are the margins that you're playing with until next year, until we kind of restructure and kind of move forward with some additional philosophies based on all the financial advice that we've gotten.
One last question. After the budget was introduced, there was a motion made and passed to cut $3 million from the budget. So we didn't cut $3 million, we cut 1.5, is what you're telling me?
Yes, and again, some of the things that the tools that we were looking for came in late. The furloughs and the layoffs and the sidewalk money and some of the other anticipated revenues, such as the parking meters and all those things. We move at the speed of government, and unfortunately, everything takes twice as long and costs 4 times as much to do in government. But I think you've done. I think you've done a great job, holding us to accountability, holding to a vision that you had for this budget, understanding that if you do adopt this budget today, the new budget process starts tomorrow, and the investment that you made in those financial documents are all going to be implemented into the new process.
Okay, so let's go right into the discussion item.
Mayor,
Yes,
Bless you.
before we move forward, and before I forget especially, I want to put up tonight that we also increase the sewer fee at some point. I want to make sure that that's appropriate. I know that we're talking about the budget right now, but I want to make sure that it's put up that we increase our sewer fee for anything that comes up in the future to $2,500.
And Bill, I think that's a good, those are the kind of conversation that you were absent of, and maybe you're catching up on your homework assignments, but you're absolutely correct. So
if that's a motion to reconsideration, I will second that motion.
Yeah, if Bill is referring to what is it?
The increase.
Sewer
Sewer
ordinance.
connection.
I have it
So
over
yes,
here.
he wants to make a motion to reconsider. So we need a motion to reconsider that. So let's have a motion to reconsider.
Bill, you're making that motion? Motion to reconsider?
Yes, I am.
I'm seconding that.
And then you're going to need a roll call vote if you would like to reintroduce, or was that
It
an
says
ordinance,
second
right?
reading, I believe. Second reading, right?
Second reading.
okay, Kathleen.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
We'll get you there.
Kathleen?
Councilman D'Amato,
Oh, yes.
Councilman Gibson,
Yes.
Councilman Latona,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sadrikula,
Absolutely.
Mayor Grabowski.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank
I
you,
just-
Bill.
I just want to put out there that, these forward-thinking about of the user fees and and other items, and you might want to also consider that landscaping issue that you had. If you're breaking even or making money and it's a convenience for your community, you may want to give that some reconsideration as well. I don't know if you're doing it this evening, but
That was up for next meeting.
is it?
But,
Okay.
well, we
Well,
tabled it last meeting, but there's a few things from last meeting I plan on bringing up to fix on Chapter 99
Tony?
and benefits. So,
Tony,
yes.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interfere with you, but, if that was brought up, and that's why I want to make sure that while we're talking about that, I apologize that I'm kind of bringing myself up to speed, but the fact of the matter is, I was able to speak with our people that are involved with that, and I think it's really a good issue that we reconsider that, and if we're going to be making money, I'm all in favor of it. So what do we need to do to reconsider that?
Just the two issues that I had with it, looking back at it again, is I'd like my colleagues to reconsider to add a dollar more a yard, which is still, I think, $3 or $4 less than what they would pay. And the biggest thing we need to fix, and this would have to go through legal, that automatically, not through council having a vote and us losing money again because we're going to lose money, but automatically put in the resolution that every time we sign a contract, if it goes up $2 a yard or whatever the cost is, that our costs automatically go up, so we don't have to worry about government and red tape putting us back in the hole. So if my colleagues are good with
Progressive
that.
fee, yeah.
Right, if my colleagues are good with that, I will make that motion to
Tony,
reconsider.
before you do that, though, if the cost goes up $2, we have to increase it more than the cost to be able to make money. Because if the cost is going up $2 and we only raise our fees by $2, we're not making any more money. We're breaking even. So you would, yes, think about it.
Legal's got a spin on that.
Yeah, I believe at the last meeting, the item that was on that was tabled was actually to abolish the dumping program altogether. So if we're going in a different direction for next Tuesday's meeting, we can put on for first reading.
No, the problem at last meeting was the administration only put on a resolution to raise the fees. We ended up voting not to do it, but the resolution that was there that didn't make me too happy was there was only one resolution the resolution was there. So if we want to wait the next meeting, I'm fine with doing it tonight. Those, as long as those two changes are made, it was on for first reading now.
Let's move it for tonight. Why are we wasting time? Let's do it.
Because we have to do a second ordinance reading, and it has to be on the agenda. It's not on the agenda tonight for a second ordinance reading. What we would be voting on tonight was to be putting it on
Yeah, you
for
can
a
give us the
second reading.
direction, and we can have it on for Tuesday's meeting.
For a second reading,
Yes.
second reading.
So,
Go ahead, Mayor.
but we can vote tonight if my colleagues are good with those two changes. We could vote for it tonight, so it's ready for next meeting.
You could give us that direction, exactly.
So I don't know how my colleagues feel, but
Well, we have to raise it.
Make the motion,
If the fees go up, we have to raise it, the fee plus something. Because if you just raise it by the amount the fee goes up, we're not making money. We still have to raise it more. So we have to put a percentage on that.
Again, the making of the money is kind of a wrong characteristic. It is covering the operation that you are offering. And so what you're asking for is some sort of language or mechanics in that language to cover any increases that may occur. So that's kind
Plus a
of...
profit margin. So
Correct, so
it's
that's
a-
kind of what we need to do.
Right,
So
plus
we're
a
going to
profit margin.
reintroduce the ordinance, but we want that language in there to cover any kind of increase in costs to cover the operation, right? And you want that memorialized.
If next year we get a new contract with vegetative waste and it raises us $2 a yard, whatever
Yes,
it is,
but I just
it
want-
automatically goes up.
I just want the board to know that I can't put, if it goes up $2, I can't put, hey, it goes up $2 plus 10 for the house. That's not the way the government kind of works. If it goes up $2 and that covers the operation, then that's the cost of the operation. You can't put $2 and then a little bit more. So I just want to make sure the public knows that too, because that's not. Yes,
In
yes,
all fairness, that's what we have to do.
yes. And
So that it keeps pace with what we are doing
Right.
now.
Right.
So it's always
Makes sense.
adjusted for like today's.
I understand what Mary's saying.
Yes.
She wants to make a couple more bucks, but at the same time, I understand what you're saying because, well, we have to do is we have to keep it, whatever it goes up.
I would like to see, I don't want to wait a year to find out we're losing money, we're making money on this. We need to show, either if it's quarterly, monthly, I want to see what it is. Because if this, I don't mind revisiting, but while we're having this discussion, Ray, I think you should step off the dais since you're directly involved in this. And that is a conflict. The council took me to court my first term because I didn't step off the dais, but rules have changed.
All right, Ray, we'll cover it.
No, I'd step off, trust me. Don't tell me I don't step
Come on,
off.
please.
I think we need to look at it as a quarterly basis or a monthly basis. We can't wait to hear for a year that we're losing money.
I would support quarterly reports, absolutely. Yeah.
And the reason why I'm asking for that change is so that doesn't happen again. So to my colleagues, by us raising it each time automatically, that the contract goes up, we'll make sure that doesn't happen again. So we'll get our reports,
Yeah.
but that's going to stop that from happening.
And
I get your
listen,
concept.
yes, and that's an administrative, that's in the ordinance. It's going to be difficult to mandate a quarterly report be sent to, I don't know if we can do something like that, but that's an administrative policy that kind of mandates that particular action.
right.
But these are listen, and people might not think that these conversations don't have a place in the budget conversation, but they do, right? So these are the revenues that you've been talking about. These are additional sources. We should be talking about parking. We should be talking about, we're doing the fee structures. I mean, so you've been doing a lot.
So then I will make that motion to reconsider, just to make sure we're ahead and we're not losing $1 more than what that ordinance was per square yard, and it increases automatically when our vegetative contract increases. With those two changes,
So
I will make the motion to reconsider.
So the fee schedule is $1 more than what was proposed in the,
No, I'm proposing we raise it $1 more a yard than what was proposed to us to make
that's
sure
what I'm
we're
asking.
ahead.
Listen, $1 more than was proposed, not $1 more than what we're currently charging. Whatever was proposed, and I don't have those figures in front of me. So if it was going up to $20 a yard, you want it to be 21. So whatever the fee was, you want to add $1 onto that.
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure
Yes.
that the administration understands.
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Okay, roll call.
Councilman D'Amato?
Yes.
Councilman Gibson?
Yes.
Councilman Latona?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sadrikula?
I'm willing to look at it, but I'm telling you, day one, we get numbers that this is losing money or not making money, it's going.
And Mayor
It's a good
Grabowski's
it's a good step
abstaining.
into a new way of thinking.
Motion carried 4.
Just want to let you know I got you covered, Mayor.
Okay, Mr. DiMarzo, can we go into the discussion items why we're here tonight, the budget?
Yes, Mayor. I mean, so we have what we're presenting. So the auditor, the CFO, myself, it's up on the big screen there. It's page 3 of 4 is a 6.6 tax increase. Now, the tax increase, and Joe and Rob can correct me if I'm wrong, it does fall out of the scope of an initial adoption, so it would require an amendment, and then the state has to go to the state, and then the state has to approve, and then if Kathleen can get it in the paper before Saturday, and that might be problematic, then it could be adopted September, the first meeting in September 2nd. So that's what's on the table. I don't know if you want to just do it as a simple up and down vote, but that's what we've been working on over the last, almost a month, right? So the last meeting was the 6th, and now we're here 26th. So that's 20 days worth of nonstop hammering and twisting and phone calls. It was like a Greek tragedy, right? There was laughing, there was crying, and at the end of the day,
There was yelling. Don't forget the yelling.
You have 6.6.
Gary, there was yelling too.
What's that?
I said there was some yelling too.
There was a lot.
And
Listen,
thank you to
it's
the administration, it was some
It's a lot.
conversations, and
You're
They got a little
changing,
heated,
you're
but-
changing a culture, you're changing an organization, and you're trying to do it expeditiously and fairly, and you've put a lot of time and energy. All of you should be proud.
and I appreciate the administration for their time and effort in helping making some of these changes.
So the question again, outside of my oration, Mayor, is it going to be as simple as an up and down vote this evening? What's the pleasure of the board?
For my colleagues, before we vote, part of me going along with a budget this year moving forward was to make some fixes and changes. Last council meeting, I brought it up to bring up tonight for my colleagues. There were 6 changes. I can read them and we can vote separately or together for my colleagues. One of them being a standard overtime policy for the city. Number 2 being out-of-state policy for the city. Number 3 being updating Chapter 99 ordinance, increasing the amount of work hours needed for medical and fringe benefits. Number 4 was updating Chapter 99, changing from 10 years to 20 years of employment of service to receive retirement medical benefits. Number 5 was emulating and following 2010 state statute reforms, eliminating medical benefits for elected officials. And number 6, bringing back the biometric clock scanners for City Hall. All of these would start on January 1st to my colleagues. So we start a new year, a new budget, fixing problems and issues of the past and moving forward. So those are the 6 things I wanted to bring forward. If my colleagues would like to have a separate vote on any of those 6 things, let me know, or else we can do them as a group.
My suggestion is again, those are all heavy lift items that have very, very financial impacts and employee impacts. I think they're fantastic suggestions. I think they have to be massaged with the proper language. And again, you making it real, Tony, makes it ripe for consideration, as the attorneys say. And so each one of those items, I think, should be brought to the council for discussion and memorialized, because some of them are easier than others, and some of them might have some exposure.
I appreciate that, Mr.
than
DeMarzo.
others.
We've been talking about this for 3 years, and discussion items has us talking in circles. Thank you for your input, but I will be making those motions tonight. However my colleagues want to vote is on them, but we're going on the record.
Home just for a second. I just want to be clear that our judge, our municipal attorney, and our
Public defender.
defender are all covered, because when they were hired, they were told that they were going to have benefits. They all work, and I checked because I wanted to make sure that my information was clear. Every single one of them work at least 30 hours a week. So for that, I want to make sure that they are covered with the medical benefits. And then if that can happen, then I'm absolutely in favor of your recommendations.
Mayor, and if everyone's working the 30 hours, it's not going to change, but increases the number to follow along more with the state. And quite frankly,
Correct.
I went to that 30 hours as a compromise because part of my motion is going to be 35 hours for all new employees, like the rest of the city employees that work for the city.
Mayor?
Yeah,
I would also add, this was before the council and it was voted on, so it would take somebody from the prevailing side to put this back on the table
Right.
tonight.
And the only problem I have, too, is that we're missing 2 council people that are not here to
And
vote
I
on
have
it.
concern that they're, like, again, that
mean-
they are very, very pointed issues, whether they're 3 years or not. This team here was able to move every issue that you've given to us and direction forward.
Right.
And I believe that we should be given the same courtesy on each one of those items before
And
that.
I just think that
Mayor,
all council people
I'd
should be
like to
present
weigh-
for this.
I'd like
Mayor,
to
if I-
weigh in. I'd
So,
like
Mayor, in all fairness,
If I
it's
could-
a little troubling to me that we're dealing on a budget meeting tonight that was well known that we have a budget meeting, and I understand that maybe somebody has vacation, and I get it, but we can't hold this up. Let's move forward. This is what our problem is. We have to move forward. Let's get it done.
Mayor-
Everybody knew that it was a budget meeting tonight.
Bill, I couldn't agree with you more. And as far as I'm concerned, quite frankly, the council people that take benefits from every attorney I've talked to are in conflict and should not be voting on this because it's a benefit that they get that no one else gets. It's time to move, Tony. I think that we talked about it long enough. I'm
Mayor.
ready to vote on it now. I'm
Mayor,
ready
we
to
have
vote.
legal-
I'll
I
second
also
it.
have to add, Mayor, that these employees weren't rice notice for this evening. We did that the entire process.
Well, but the rice notice is only if we were talking about them individually. We're doing a group thing. And let me remind you, Tom, when the ordinance was changed from 20 years to 10 years for the retirement benefits, no employees were riced.
All right, well,
Tony and I
well,
were, it was a blizzard.
I mean, specifically
So
now,
we-
it's
okay.
down to 3 positions, and you've mentioned, without mentioning employees' names, you've mentioned those people's positions already tonight.
I didn't
so-
mention any position.
Bill
I
did.
didn't mention any.
No,
I didn't mention any.
I thought he made mention that they were working over 30 hours to
Yeah, that's
confirm
what he
they were
said.
working over 30 hours, because the motion was to increase it to 30 hours.
We've-
I don't
we've-
think he wasn't making a motion to exempt them. He was just, I assume from what he said, confirming employees were working over 30 hours.
This particular rice notice issue has been discussed ad nauseum, and we seem to be eroding back into who gets a rice notice and who does not get a rice notice. And I thought we had transitioned past the rice notice issue. The question
Yes.
that we
The
have at
rice
this...
notice issue, Mr. DiMarzo, I looked up the law 10 times over.
Okay.
The rice notice issue is when you're talking about an employee separately, not changing the
Councilman,
policies of group.
Councilman, I don't want to have the discussion. If you want to call for a vote,
Yep.
I think legal and myself expressed the discomfort that this conversation is creating.
Maybe I can make it clear? All I want to do is I wanted to include them, because I know for a fact they work 30, and at the time of they were hired, they were informed that this is going to be one of their benefits of the city. These people bring in a lot of money for us.
Again, Councilman Gibson, I just want to caution relative to even tangentially that if we're talking about someone's position or capacity, the law is clear that a rice notice is to be issued.
All right, then bring them in,
So-
if they say yes or no.
All right, well,
I second
I'm
it, so call for a vote.
And I still think we should wait for all the council people
Well-
to be here.
Sorry, motion was made and second. Roll call, please.
Mayor,
For
we
which-
do also need a motion from somebody that was on the prevailing side of the last vote on this issue.
No, that was not, that motion was not for all these changes, so I disagree with you.
Well,
This is a
I'm
new
saying for the
motion.
one, we can't just package one and move it as.
all right,
a
fine.
group.
I'll do them all separate. Motion, starting January 1st, the biometric scanners come back to City Hall for employees to clock in and out.
Second.
Calling roll?
I guess we're going to do it this way.
If there's no
Any objection?
no objection.
I mean, that biometric system is over and above what we already have, so all employees, absent the ones that are mentioned, including myself, do not have to clock in and out. But each employee has to. at
So,
their
Mr.
desktop.
Marzo, last year, this governing body gave directive, and we were told multiple times it was happening, and I don't believe it to be true, that all City Hall employees and department heads were supposed to clock in and out, except for the prosecutor and the judge, I think?
No, Judge, City
And
Manager.
the city manager,
I'm sorry, and the city manager.
we're cutting you a break.
So, we used to have clocking in and out at the door at City Hall.
All right,
Not remotely.
if that's a directive,
Not
then go ahead.
remotely,
It's
not
in the middle of
remotely,
roll
not from
call.
your phone, not from wherever. It was at City Hall. So,
Joe, is that procedure?
Well, yes, we used to have clocks. We had the clocks were for replacement, and we actually went to the current system where we clock in from our phones or our computers at City Hall because of the cost of the new clocks.
Is there a geofence around the ability,
You
right?
could
So you
only-
can't clock in from your home, you have to clock in from a
Right.
geofence in
Right.
the proximity of City Hall.
Right, so, and very few people can, other than like myself and some department heads can clock in from our phone. Everybody else has to do it from their computer.
And again, I have no problem clocking in and out, I just don't want to add an added expense of a biometric.
But that's the
but
problem.
everybody
People
right-
can clock in from their phones, and they're not physically here.
No, they are.
Yeah, and Mr. Velarzo, Mayor, through you to Mr. Velarzo, in fairness, that's what the problem was, and we are getting the information from our own city employees saying that that's what the problem is, and
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do to eliminate the problem.
I will say I have
So-
heard.
I'm sorry,
from-
go ahead.
Sorry, I have heard from multiple city employees who I'm obviously not going to out. They were coming, as a whistleblower in essence, saying that this is a problem. People clocking other people in, people skirting the system.
Clocking in from home and
Well, if there's buddy punching or if the geofence is not working, then we can specifically require them to use their desktops. I mean, nothing, if you have a fob,
Well, that's how it's supposed to be.
I would like to add, for the employees that do have the feature on their phone, before it clocks you in, it asks you for your location, and you have to permit it, and it notes where your location is.
You
So,
can
All right, well,
block that.
I tell you what, there's in the system, you can run a report, because I used to work for the city, I think it's Prime Point, you can run a report on anyone who clocked in or out, not from the City Hall internet. So for 2026, can you get us that report?
Yeah, I'd be interested in
2025,
myself. Listen, this is-
For 2024, can we get a copy for 2024?
we'll do it to 2024, and I'll do it up till tomorrow. But if there's a system that indicates where the employee is or
So
not.
to my colleagues, whether it's biometrics or whether it's the clocking in and out, where are we going with this?
The motion was made and motion was second, so can we have a roll call that they have to clock in or out from the location in City Hall? You cannot have, you can circumvent that in your phone and put you're here when you're not here, so.
But as for when you log into Prime Point, you have to put in your username, then your password, and then you have to click that you're not a machine to log into Prime Point, and then you clock in or out. Clock in the morning, clock out at night. And it's the same thing at a desktop. If I were to come upstairs to my computer, I have to go onto Prime Point, I put in my username and password. So if people are clocking other people in, they've given the other person their personal information. It's not,
that could happen.
We're not going to
It's
sit here and
not-
talk in circles. Let's move on.
Motion was
Motion was made,
made and second.
whether, and I'll make an adjustment to it, if it's not the biometric system, whatever the system is, that it comes back.
That it has to be clocked in or out, not from a phone that you can't tell where you are, from your desktop that it says you are in the location.
Yeah,
I
would
don't
agree.
understand, every city
No.
employee's coming through the door for 100 years and scanned or whatever right there, until supposedly the machine broke and we decided not to fix it.
To be perfectly sincere with you, in other municipalities, you have to be at your desktop at 8:30 or 4:15. So you are logging into your computer, like Joe says, at that particular time. And if, the old biometric systems were as they would put their finger on the machine and then disappear for 2 hours. I mean, so there's always a way for those who
Well-
don't want to clock in. But if the geofence is not working or the clock in by phone is not working, and the directive is now until it gets under control to log in at your desktop by the time that you're supposed to be at the 8:15, then we can make that the directive.
Yeah.
And if the directive is again, so going through your
We'll make that, but I want the report.
Just to be clear, yes. Is it possible someone's lying to me about clocking other people in happening? Sure, but memorializing it as a policy and then, asking you to implement it will cause no harm, and I think it'll only help, and
Well,
if nothing else, to ensure confidence.
And let's go to certain items on your list where policy. So if the directive from the board is there's no out-of-state travel, then that's the directive from the board.
Well, we're getting to
Well, we'll
that.
get
I
there
understand,
next.
but again, those are not,
We'll get there next.
Let's
I have
call the question.
we have a motion and a second.
Before else, I think we have a motion before.
We have a
do.
motion and a
It was-
second.
Tony made it, I second it. So call the question.
Well, it's a
Councilman
roll call.
D'Amato,
Yes, with Tony's
Councilman
amended proposal.
Gibson,
It's really unfortunate that we have to do this, but we have to do this, yes.
Councilman Latona,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sadrikula,
Absolutely. Enough of this nonsense.
Mayor Grabowski.
No,
I'm sorry?
no.
No? 4-1.
Second motion, no more policy for no more out-of-state travel for training or seminars until the city manager develops an SOP, a justificational need for the travel, and council approval.
Each one. I will second that. Enough. The League of
Everyone knows where we are in the
Municipalities has-
budget, exactly.
Yep.
You have the League of Municipality, I go down every year. It's where almost everything that has to do with a city employee needs to know for training and education, and it's geared towards New Jersey at a fraction of the cost. So as we're millions of dollars short in the budget, that's fix number two. And there is going to be a need for out-of-state, just so my colleagues know. You know, there's the FBI Academy. You can't do that at the League of Municipalities. There's certain fire training in Texas. You can't do that at the municipalities. But at least there'll be a policy, there'll be a justificational need, and council approval, and we're not going to be running city amok.
Yeah, and I think that's the stopgap that I would need. So,
Okay, so
out-of-state
the
travel,
mo-
for me to make a determination, if it's an out-of-state travel, then it needs to come to the board, and that the board can make a determination through the collective to see if it's necessary.
Motion
That's-
to.
We have a motion, so let's have a roll call on that one.
Councilman D'Amato,
Absolutely, we have to tighten up.
Councilman Gibson,
Yes, I agree.
Councilman Latona,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sadrikula,
Absolutely.
Mayor Grabowski,
Yes.
5, motion carried.
Okay, next one is.
Next one I'll go with, in 2010, reforms in the state statutes eliminating medical benefits for elected officials and part-time employees not subjected to a bargaining unit.
I will
So my
second.
motion
Mayor,
is
this is-
beginning January 1st.
All right, we
We're
still
gonna
need a
start the
motion
year
from
fresh.
somebody on the prevailing side the last time we took this vote.
All right, then
No.
Councilman Gibson, I'm sorry, if he is in favor,
I
he can make the motion.
I
The
second.
thing is, though, let me just,
All the questions.
can I add something? You can't, it would have to start on the next election.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would, because people ran under the assumption that they were going to get benefits. So now you're saying in their last year of office that you're going to take their benefits away. When they ran knowing that they
Are
might
you-
get
are
mayor.
you kidding?
Mayor, when I got hired in 2000...
Counsel?
Mayor, hold on. When I got hired in 2000, I had free lifetime medical. In 2010, they changed it and ended that. We didn't get grandfathered. We just changed contracts. Recently, we just changed medical plans for our employees, effective now, not 30 years from now. We just changed them.
This
So
is the same
I'm not getting
debate
into
that
a
we
fight.
had. This is the same debate that we had versus compensation package for elected officials.
Well,
This is-
and
this
let
is-
me add something. First of all, and thank you, Chris, because you pointed it out, and I will give credit where credit is due. You pointed out, for 30 years, we're in violation of our own ordinance, because the ordinance specifically says a council person and their spouse, not children, no family plans. So for 30 years, we make rules and we break them. I don't want to hear this. People ran for the benefits. I sat in a meeting with an organization that was going to looking to endorse candidates. And a candidate that now takes benefits sat there and said they would never take benefits. So we don't have to wait for the next election. Anyone who takes this job for benefits is an embarrassment.
Right, so can I
Okay.
just ask a question, Mayor, through you?
Yes, Bill.
To the CM and to the attorney? What Mary just said, is it true that there is an ordinance that says that they are not supposed to take it,
Family plans, correct.
family plans?
Right, it's only, the ordinance reads for spouse and, for elected official and spouse.
That's correct.
Say it louder, please.
I said that's correct.
That, correct what?
That's the way the current ordinance reads. It doesn't refer to family plans or individual plans. It refers to the elected member and their spouse.
Okay, thanks.
And again, I just want the public to know, I could take the benefits as an elected official and pay almost nothing. I pay hundreds of dollars right now through the military, or if I paid as retired fireman, and when I retire this next year, I am going to start paying myself $700, $800 a month. But I've always said for 20 years, 15 years, that part-time elected officials shouldn't receive the benefits. So I want everybody to know, I can do the same thing if I wanted to, but I don't believe in it, and I'm going to be paying starting next year, my rates are going to go, as soon as I retire, to $800 a month from the 100 that I'm already paying now, when I can be getting it for free. As elected officials, we need to lead by
Call the
example.
question, motion was
Well,
made
You
and...
can't, again,
Call the question.
Wait a minute, I
Again,
think it has to be someone from the
doesn't-
prevailing side.
and,
That's
right.
correct. We voted on this about 3 months ago, this exact
Yeah.
issue. And at that time, all the employees that were involved were also rice. But it would, at a minimum, require a motion from someone that
Call
was on
the
the prevailing
question.
It
side.
has to be motion from someone who...
Wasn't Bill on the
All the
prevailing?
questions.
Well, hold on.
But whether you motion it or not, it's going to be invalid.
No, I don't
agree.
think so.
It's going to be invalid. It's going to be an invalid motion.
We'll take our chances. We'll take
You
our
take
chances.
take your chances who? Because we're not implementing it.
Excuse me?
We're not implementing it.
If the motion passes,
It's an invalid
it
motion.
is not an invalid motion. We, as a
Okay.
governing body, have the right to change a benefits plan as the governing body under state
You
statute,
just-
that we
you-
oversee
this
all the finances of
specific-
the city.
Conversation relative to compensation for elected officials was voted on, was legal opinioned on, was Rice noticed on, and it failed. If you
And
make
I
a
have a
motion,
legal
if you
opinion that
make a
says-
motion, there'll be no action taken on it other than some other legal action above this particular administration, because I will not jeopardize my empire, my credentials, my integrity relative to an improper motion.
Right, so-
Then
and as
Councilman
mayor, I
Gibson-
motion that the
Councilman
motion is
Gibson,
out of order.
If he's considered to make the motion, then he can make the motion.
Yes, you were on the prevailing side, Bill. You can make that motion.
I get it. I know where everybody's going at, but I have to tell you something. I have to listen to what our city manager has to say. I have to listen to what our legal counsel has to say. That is more important to me, and I have to make sure that we do the right thing. All of us. I'm not talking just us, and I know where it's going, and I know what everybody wants, but the fact of the matter is, I have to vote for what is legal.
Right, and Bill...
Councilman Gibson,
Go ahead.
if you're in favor, the motion was that we can't make the motion because we weren't on the prevailing side. You
were
weren't
on the-
here, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
What we did as a group, so you're on the prevailing side. So you, if you so choose, can legally make that motion.
Exactly. You were on the prevailing side. You can
And
make...
from my understanding, Councilman Gibson is saying he's going to respect
But no,
the rules.
please don't talk for him.
No, but you're talking for
I'm
him.
not. We're telling him.
You tell, he just said,
The
he's,
manager said we couldn't make the motion.
right, and Bill,
Councilman Gibson can.
Councilman Gibson just said he's not comfortable making that motion.
He did not
because-
say that.
Oh, hold
He
on.
did not say that.
Bill,
He said
Mayor,
he wants to listen
may
to...
I have the floor when you have a moment?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, I want this to happen, okay? I'm on the side of this. I think we need to get rid of these benefits. It's part of tightening our belts. Bill is on the prevailing side. He would have to make the motion that he feels comfortable with. So if administration is telling us that they're not going to take action on our vote, it seems to me the pragmatic thing to do here would be for Bill, if he wishes, or someone on the prevailing side, if they wish, to make a motion to start this process in a way that they will execute, or we have to decide how we want to handle the inaction of the administration on our terms. To me, it's one or the other, because if they're telling us they're not going to do it, then we either do it in a way that they're going to do it, or we,
But the reason why they're telling us they won't do it is they're saying is that unless you were on the prevailing side, we can't make that motion. So Bill was on the prevailing side. He could make that motion. That's what we're saying.
Oh, no, I understand Bill can make the motion. I think the holdup was the Rice notices. Am I?
It's the two issues. You're correct. We'll do what you want, but it's the Rice notices and the prevailing side.
And we have legal opinions that say the Rice notices were not needed because we're talking about a group. We're not talking about individuals
And not elected officials.
and not elected officials, correct?
Elected officials never got rice
We
notices.
could agree to disagree relative. I'm not an attorney, and nor are
Elected
you.
officials never got rice notices before. So
You
all
got
of a
them from
sudden-
me.
All right, Tom, we got to stick you in the middle of this.
No, I mean, the last time this came up, the process that we followed was that everybody that would be affected by the proposed action, including the elected officials, were rice noticed.
That don't mean you had to do it.
Everybody was.
That's not the
Tom,
question.
that's not the question. You're
Well-
saying everybody was, but it's
And we
not
have-
legally
We have to
required.
do it.
It's not legally required.
It is legally required.
No, that's not what we were told. We were told that for precautionary measures, we should, but it was not legally required.
It's legally required.
No, legal told us that.
Tom, is it legally required or not?
Yes, that's.
Okay, well, our attorney said, yes, it is. You are not an attorney. Will you listen to our attorney?
Because they've never been wrong before, Ray.
Doesn't matter, they're our attorney. We hired them.
But
Doesn't
we
mean you,
can-
it doesn't make you or anyone else right.
There's other ways to get around it. You're just not getting it through with the way you want to do it.
We can also pull the tape and hear the tape where it said it wasn't legally required. But my second question is, if we're go ahead, Bill, go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, no, go ahead, you can go, and then I'll go. Go ahead.
No, we're just spinning our wheels, and the thing is that everybody's telling us what we have to do here, and, I mean, I have no problem making the motion. The motion is gonna go nowhere. This is where we're gonna wind up, and I don't wanna wind up with that problem, so I need to move it forward. What are we doing?
So if you want to make the motion, I guess, while I disagree because I don't believe rights notices are needed. In fact, I'm sure of it, that rights notices aren't needed. But if that's the motion, Chris, you spelled it out pretty good. We've got to move it forward, if that's your
Correct.
choice.
Correct.
So the motion is to move it forward. What's the motion? To move it forward?
Is that the motion that Mr. Councilman Gibson's making?
That's what I'm asking.
Is that the motion you're making, Bill? Are you making a motion to reconsider, or what is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll
motion
make
to
a
reconsider.
reconsider.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Councilman
call?
Gibson, Councilman D'Amato?
Yes.
Councilman Gibson?
Yes.
Councilman Latona?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sadrikula?
Absolutely, yes.
Mayor Grabowski?
No.
Motion carries.
4-1, motion carries.
Tony, you have more?
Yep.
Well, now you need a motion to do what you want to do.
We just,
You just did the motion to reconsider.
Reconsider.
yeah.
Now what do you want?
Okay, so that.
You gotta do the
passed.
same
So
vote
now-
twice?
Now, come on,
No, it's been reconsidered. Now, in theory, if, Bill would, if Bill wanted to motion to.
Anybody could do
rice-
it now.
Anyone, oh, yeah.
Anyone can do
Okay.
it now.
Well, then, motion to rice notice the, groups here and, move forward with the discussion of eliminating the benefits.
Second,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
You're
second.
making that
Just-
motion,
And I'll second it so we can just move forward.
Okay, so we'll have a roll call.
So the motion is not to rice notice. The rice notice is going to come with the action because we're going to issue the rice notices. But the motion would be to reconsider to pull the benefits.
Right,
I thought we did that already, so he's got to say it twice?
yeah.
I
He's got
didn't,
his-
we did a motion to reconsider and you're reconsidering it. So the motion to reconsider the action is now being reconsidered. You need a motion to tell us what you want us to do.
Is this an Abbott and Costello skit?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
We
sorry,
want,
what?
we want to rice notice the employees.
You're going to rice notice them irrespective. That comes with the process.
The conversation is to eliminate these
Motion to eliminate healthcare benefits for elected.
elected officials.
And part-time workers under the 30 hours, who do not work under the 30 hours.
One thing at a time.
Well, but that's part of it, Tony.
Can we do it one thing at a time, please?
All right, then do with the elected officials.
Thanks.
Fine,
Thanks.
do the elected officials.
So I made the motion. Did someone second it?
Yeah, second.
Okay.
All right, roll
Roll
call.
call.
Tom, we're okay with this?
Of course, he has to be okay for it. We
Excuse
did
me,
a motion
you
to,
didn't ask for the floor.
We're
We're
just
not going
trying
to keep
trying
going
to
back and
figure out-
forth
we're
here.
trying to
We're just trying to clarify,
And we're trying to make it legal so nobody gets in trouble. We're trying to figure out what you want in a process.
all right, and my understanding is the direction now from the council is that to rice notice the council members and have this on for a discussion and vote.
No, not discussion. They got to be riced. If,
And
according to
it's
you,
on
which
for
I
an
don't agree
action
with.
item to vote.
But the motion is to eliminate as of January 1st.
Right.
As of January 1st. We're going to start the year off, and we're going to clean up this decades of mess we've been put
So the
in.
next meeting on the 2nd, we're going to have an action item on rice notice the employees or the elected officials that would be affected, and then it's going to be on for an action item, and you guys are going to vote.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and through you, Mayor,
Yes.
this is going to give anyone involved the extra 4 months to get additional, I guess, secondary insurance. Yes?
Yes. Yes, it wouldn't be effective till January 1st.
All the motions I'm making are going to start January 1st, to start the year off fresh.
Find additional
Yes.
insurance. I just
Correct.
don't want to leave them hanging.
No.
Yes,
No.
agree. No one does.
I get it.
Okay, Tony, what's next? Let's go.
All right,
Okay, Tom.
all right.
Councilman D'Amato, are we making a motion on that to action?
Yes.
Oh, I made it.
No, Tony made the motion, I seconded.
Are we roll calling?
Yes, roll calling.
Councilman D'Amato,
Yes.
Councilman Gibson,
Yes, under those circumstances.
Councilman Latona,
Yes,
Councilwoman Sadrikula,
Absolutely.
Mayor Grabowski,
No?
4 yes, 1 no, motion carried.
as we continue to get our finances in order, a motion for the city manager to develop a citywide overtime policy by rank and seniority that rotates from top to bottom and then restarts at the top, again, based on seniority.
We had those conversations relative to the police department.
This is
and I
gonna be for
believe
the whole
it's
city,
some of them are contractual.
If
There
it's not
isn't-
contractual, but it's not contractual. Thank you.
It'll be done, thank you.
So that's my motion to
Second.
my colleagues.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, I seconded.
Call the roll.
Roll call.
Councilman D'Amato,
Yes.
Councilman Gibson,
Yes.
Councilman Latona,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sadrikula. Yes. Mayor Grabowski.
Yes.
5 yes, 0 no, motion carried.
Next one, updating Chapter 99 ordinance, changing from 10 years to 20 years of employment service with the city of Clifton to receive retirement medical benefits, again, starting January 1st for retirement after January 1st, 2026.
And wouldn't that have to be it's non-union people, because some are contractual in the contracts, correct?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I just
Well,
want to.
I'm sorry, Chapter 99,
Oh, yeah,
my
because
understanding
it's
is the
confidential. Yes,
is the
you're right,
non-union.
You're right. I'll second that motion.
I think.
Roll call.
Councilman D'Amato,
Yes.
Councilman Gibson,
Definitely.
Councilman Latona,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sadrikula,
Absolutely. Get to the real world.
Mayor Grabowski.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with this on voting, though.
4 yes, 1 no.
Is this retroactive? Is this grandfathering? Is this just a hard stop? What are we doing here on this one?
Well, normally, when we do ordinances, they're from when it passes on second reading. Normally, but because we're looking to start the year fresh, like everything else, in the spirit of compromise, it's starting January 1st.
And I might add, when it was changed from 20 or 25 years to 10 years, there was no grandfathering, and it started immediately. And in fact, the second reading was a blizzard. It was the 4 years I was not on council. Remember that, Tony?
As a matter of fact, I literally drove here in a snowstorm, in my Hummer, in a blizzard, to try to speak on it, because all the city wrote was changes to Chapter 99, subsection B, paragraph C.
Yep.
For the public at home to know, one of the changes this council made is you have a seat at the table now. We publicize our agenda. We publicize our budget meetings. Before this council, none of this happened. So even though we don't always agree, for the public to know, we gave everyone accountability and more transparency.
30 hours? Don't you
Mayor,
have
through
the
you
first?
to Councilman Latona,
No,
I
I don't
need
think so.
clarification with regard to the benefits of the part-time employees, because my understanding is if you're going to accept Councilman Gibson's representation that the 3 employees whose title he referred to are now working 30 hours, the only other employee, as we...
Honestly, I don't want to stop you. I don't even want you to say anything because I don't know no names, no people.
Me too.
But just to end part-time.
Right.
And like I said, for new hires, it needs to be 35 hours.
All right, well,
But just
if-
because we have
If
current
it's,
employees.
if it's,
so
if
this is
it's
for-
30 hours by federal law, so if they're working 30 hours and we're providing benefits to other employees, we're required by federal law to provide benefits to them.
Right.
So with regard to that issue, if the only 3 employees are working 30 hours, as Mr. Councilman Gibson...
We don't,
I don't know
wanna
that.
hear- we don't
I just
wanna
want a
hear-
standard rule.
we don't wanna
I just
hear-
want a standard rule for the whole city or whatever, that you need to work 30 hours to receive any fringe benefits. It's not just medical. Everyone keeps talking about medical. You have people who've been working here 20 and 30 vacation days, 15 comp days, it's crazy. So it's a standard 30-hour minimum to match federal law, that's it. Again, implemented as of January, so that gives an opportunity for this council or the administration to come back to us if we need to tweak anything, twerk anything, or do whatever.
The vacations and, holidays, I mean, those are covered by contracts. That's a little bit of a separate issue.
Those not covered by contracts.
So you want to take, so that
So employees
wasn't...
not covered by a contract,
So-
by
so-
bargaining unit.
so
How does the wording you use is
Anybody that works less than 30 hours, they're not getting any more paid vacation
not covered by a
days,
bargaining unit, right? That's the terms we always use.
and they're not getting any sick days, they're not accruing any vacation days.
Starting January 1st, you need to work 30 hours.
That's a state law, yeah. I mean,
Right, well, we
you know,
didn't say we said you have to work 30 hours to get healthcare benefits. That's what we talked about.
Well, healthcare, right, but now I'm hearing vacation
No,
days
that-
and sick
So
days.
state statute says if you're a part-time employee,
No, they don't.
you need to get 15 sick days, 25 vacation
there's state
days,
statutes
12
that
comp
regulate
days,
that,
5
yes.
days,
But
personal
we
days.
didn't vote on it.
Is that what it says?
You didn't vote on that, that's
We did
why...
that, but, and that's, we're going off track. We only voted on the medical
benefits,
benefits.
right.
So anyone who works 30 hours gets medical benefits.
Okay,
If you
so-
work under 30 hours, don't mention names, don't mention
No,
positions.
I'm not.
Here.
I don't want to hear it. That's how it is. There's nothing more to discuss.
But
We're
I
not
think
talking
what
about it.
Councilman Gibson was referring to, right now, those employees are listed as 25-hour employees, but they actually work more than 30 hours a week.
And that's why you and the administration have 3 months to get something back to us, confirming that and fixing that. That's the reason I'm giving the 4-month window.
so
Make
if-
these fixes.
if-
So if that is the case,
If in fact they're working the 30 hours a week, then this council has no problem moving their 25 hours up to 30 hours.
So if they have, if, that's, to me, that's a big part of what the clock-ins are all about, is that if we can verify that these people are actually in the building, putting in the work for 30 hours.
Well, a lot of the work that's done, particularly by the municipal court staff, the prosecutor and the public defender.
All right, we don't want to
except
talk
for the
about
court,
positions,
here we go.
Please,
Right.
please, let's
It's
not get there.
done here, so, they
If
need...
they work 30 hours, you figure it out.
Minus
by
the court.
time that we're done. 30 hours, right? We
minus the
don't-
court, if they're working 30 hours, get us new ordinances or legislation confirming they're working 30 hours. That's why we have a 4-month window, to make those fixes. Does everyone understand? There's a reason why we're starting January 1st fresh.
Yes,
Mayor,
yes.
through you to Mr. Egan and Mr. DeMarzo. Look, if the people are working the time, you got to pay them. So the fact of the matter is, if they come out and they say, this is, I can show that I'm working 30 hours, you got to pay the people. Listen, we know today nobody works for free. So the fact of the matter is, if they're working 30 hours and they can show that they work 30 hours, you got to pay them.
Agreed.
Yeah,
And just,
okay, let's go
So
on.
if that's done, I will then make the motion, unless my colleagues have anything else, to approve the amended budget of 4% tax increase given to us by the administration today.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I'll have a roll call.
Councilman D'Amato?
I'll have a lot to say on this on Tuesday. My vote tonight to finally put this behind us and get to work on next year as soon as possible and making a coherent vision for Clifton, not just rattling numbers around, but creating goals and visions and building a budget toward those goals. My vote is yes.
Councilman Gibson?
Listen, we all know that some people may be happy and some people may not. But the fact of the matter is, you realize what we've done tonight? We have moved forward with so many different things that our constituents have wanted. All right, so please, I absolutely am going to vote yes for it. I think it's important, and we have a budget tonight.
Councilman Latona?
With the increased revenue and the huge, it's going to go into the millions over the long term with the changes we made tonight, yes.
Councilwoman Sadrikula?
I'm going to pass for now.
Mayor Grabowski?
In the spirit of compromise and to move this along, and of course, we have to have another public hearing after this, right? Okay, so there's going to be another vote. There can also be another vote after this, once we have the public portion. So I'll vote yes for tonight to get it moving.
Councilwoman Sadrikula?
Notice the words. Notice the words. Pay attention to the words. I'm going to vote yes tonight, but I could always change my mind. You know, we talk about cabals. I'm voting no.
4 yes.
And to the administration, by
no.
October, meet with your department heads.
Motion
Before
carried.
Christmas, please get us a budget sample, schedule meetings for January, because we ain't never going through this again. This is not happening. By February, I want to have something passed.
And I've been saying this for years, and this is a prime example of what happened. Not only we need to set a bond meeting, and not this fakakta bond meeting that nobody has numbers and everything, because we have to have projects. And we should actually start with a bond meeting for next year. And yes, we need to set parameters, not give 20 tax points up and then we spend months and months of not. And let's next meeting set a schedule for budget meetings, starting when, what date, and what time. And as long as there's a quorum of 4 people, you see tonight who's here.
Ray?
Let's get this done right.
Ray?
Yes, Bill.
All right, let's move this along.
Okay, Kathleen, do we have to do with the resolution? Do we have to do the resolution, or?
No, you made a motion to
Okay, all
amend
right,
it.
okay. Just reading the agenda.
I
So we
have
just need-
to put it in the paper.
All right, so we just need a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Second.
Third.